Donald Trump has now turned on his darling former press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, in a bonkers Truth Social rant.
Truth Central.
Donald Trump trothing to Central, quote, Kayleigh Milquetoast McEnany. Now, what? Oh, God. I'm going to get back to this. He writes milk toast like you would make a piece of toast with milk, like Japanese milk bread. Okay. This is not the word. This is not the spelling of milk toast, but we'll get back to that. Kayleigh Milquetoast McEnany just gave out the wrong poll numbers on Fox News. I am 34 points up on DeSanctimonious, not 25 up. While 25 is great, it's not 34. She knew the number was corrected upwards by the group that did the poll. The rhinos and globalists can have her. Fox News should only use real stars. So let's look at this in pieces. First of all, the word is milk toast, M-I-L-Q-U-E. It has a couple of definitions: timid, meek, or unassertive, lacking in character or vigor. Milk toast, like we would talk about bread, is something different altogether. Although it is delicious, I will admit. That Japanese milk bread, if you toast it, it is really something else. So let's talk about the strategy. The strategy, to the extent that there is one, is Trump turning on everyone for any reason at all if they don't do the metaphorical bow down and pray at the altar of Trump. In this particular case, Kayleigh McEnany just gave polling numbers that Trump feels are different or inaccurate or were revised in some way. It doesn't seem like this is a good strategy for two different reasons. Number one, if you are going to immediately viciously turn on anyone, not even for criticizing you, but just for reporting polling data that may be disfavorable in some way to you or not as favorable as you want it to be, you are going to very quickly run out of allies because you're going to end up turning on a lot of different people. And secondly, it runs the risk of alienating other former staffers. Even if you're a former Trump staffer, and I don't know, maybe you'd be involved in his 2024 campaign, maybe you wouldn't. If you see Trump turning on other former staffers for essentially nothing, are you going to be ready and willing to defend Trump, to work for Trump, to help Trump in any way? It seems like the answer is no. Now, this is a very funny thing. Kayleigh McEnany was hosting something on Fox News. I guess maybe she has a show now on Fox News. I don't even remember. And Congressman Chip Roy uses the word milquetoast as a reference to the fact that Trump called her milquetoast. This is actually a little bit funny.
You know, starting with you, Congressman Chip Roy, what is the realistic alternative to this? Because I understand we wouldn't formally default. We can pay the interest on our debt, but our debt could be downgraded and that could be catastrophic. So what is the realistic alternative to this deal?
Well, thanks, Kayleigh. First of all, everything that we're seeing out of the bill that was put forward, this deal, this hatch this weekend, is pretty milquetoast, if that word might mean something to you. But frankly, the real problem we've...
All right. So very, very clever there, Chip Roy. The more Trump turns on former staffers, the more likely it is that his 2024 campaign will be made up of even more incompetent staffers, which actually sounds very fun to me, even if it's not going to be a particularly good strategy for winning in 2024. So Kayleigh McEnany, the latest Trump staffer, former staffer to see Trump turn on them. And remember, Trump's idea of loyalty is you never criticize Trump. Okay. You never question Trump's judgment. All right. You always praise Trump anytime his name comes up. It's getting a little difficult. You don't even report polling data that Trump doesn't like. That's a tough standard for loyalty. That is a genuinely tough standard for loyalty. It's going to be tough to keep that one up, particularly if DeSantis's rise in the polls over the last 10 days is not a blip and it is a new change of direction. But we will follow it after the break. Joe Biden's sexual assault accuser, Tara Reade, has defected to Russia. Do you know anything about Russia? They asked me. And I said, I don't know anything about it. Well, that's where Joe Biden's sexual assault accuser has defected to. We're going to talk a lot more about believe all women in the context of this defection. Stay tuned.